Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So, that was fun. I hope. Hope you guys didn't miss that fun part. So, I'm trying to put the two videos. One is on breastfeeding dog. One is on the milk booster. But for some reason, I didn't know my I don't know what's wrong with my camera on the breastfeeding dog. So I will try to say, please. Okay. So, hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Chini. So I'm a medical doctor. Most of you know me, but for those that don't know me, I'm just going to do a quick intro. So my name is Chini. I'm a medical doctor, a breastfeeding consultant. I'm the founder of the Milk Booster and as well as the breastfeeding dog. So, gosh, I'm already getting questions. So please, let's not deviate. So basically, I've kind of been MIA because of my bomb in the oven. But the Milk Booster team are not having it, so they have me. They made sure I'm here today. So today we're just going to talk about, we're going to pick a topic. I'm already seeing questions. I'm already seeing this question. So just know that this is both on live on the breastfeeding dog and the milk booster. So please, like the video on the breastfeeding dog, I don't know what happened to the camera. So just better join on the milk booster at the milk booster _. So let's just get onto with it. Today we're talking about how to carefully plan and prepare for a new baby with a toddler. So I have my notes here so that I don't go out of place. So the first thing I want to say is because for me, I'm expecting, thank you so much. Thank you. For me, I'm expecting my second baby, and I have Zurel, who is over 2.5 years old now. So she's like a toddler and she's at that active stage, and this is just a new experience for me. I never had this with the first with my first pregnancy. So what are the things, like women, majority of us, like we have one baby, then we go again for the second one, some go for the third, the fourth, the fifth. So how and what are the ways that we can carefully plan and prepare? So the best thing to start with is, the first step I always advise is the spacing. So though we don't have so much control with the spacing, so sometimes we might just find ourselves, like how I get some moms that, oh, I'm breastfeeding, my baby is just 6 months and I just tested positive, and they don't seem too excited about it because of they just were not ready to have another baby coming at that moment. So the first step is to actually give some gap. So when you give some gap means you end up with a toddler, but at least a toddler that can tell you when they're hungry, a toddler that can self-feed, a toddler that can walk, that can talk, that can express themselves is a lot much easier than having, two babies under 2 and none of them can really express themselves. That will be the first advice I will give, just to space the gap between babies. And that depends on you, how much space you want. But I will ideally say, let it be that at least your baby, the one older, is at least a year plus before you move on to the next one. Then, number 2 is, like for me, by the time I'll be having this baby, Zura will probably be 3, I think, or close to 3. So for me, it's a very good spacing, because I also did a question on my page, so how toddlers accepted the new baby, and I found that moms that had kids that were about close to 3, around 3, those ones were at that stage where they understand what is a new baby, they understand who is a baby, and they crave for baby. That's when you see girls, they have their baby doll, they try to brush the teeth or all of that. So those are kind of like their own part of development. And then having a real baby, they will try to do the same thing, which may not be safe every time, but it will prevent the negative thing, negative outcome and reaction. So the second thing really is to do everything that you have mapped out to do. Why am I saying this? So literally all this while when I was with Zurel, I imagined potty training. So for me, I would give the things that I wanted to do. So there was potty training, there was weaning completely of breastfeeding, and then there was getting her to sleep in her own bed all through the night. So let's just start with the potty. So these were things I needed to do before I have another baby, because I felt it was going to make my life a lot more tedious, and I didn't want that. So I wanted to be a little bit free. So I was breastfeeding her till she was 2.5. I initially wanted to stop her at the age of 2, but she wasn't ready. So we had to talk about it. We had to prepare for it, going back and forth. So around 2.5 years, we agreed that now breast is sleeping and no more breast milk. For me, that was okay. And at that stage, she was happy with it and she was okay. She wouldn't come in between, because sometimes when we stop the breastfeeding abruptly, the baby was not prepared. The baby was not ready. So when they see the breast hanging anywhere, they want to go and start nursing on it. So at this stage, she was completely satisfied, because we've gone through like 6 months of processing it, agreeing that the breast has come to sleep now, and we have to let the breast sleep. So every time she would tell me breast is sleeping, yes, breast is sleeping, so we cannot be breastfeeding. So that was the first thing I did. I got her to stop. So yes, please, can you come over? Just go on the milk booster. I honestly didn't know why this camera is not foggy. It's actually it has a crack right in front of it. So please just come over to the breast at the milk booster _, okay? So that was what I did with we had to stop breastfeeding. So I had to get that out of my plate. Then the second thing I had to do was potty training. So for potty training, I dreaded it so much, but I knew I was not going to have 2 babies wearing different sizes of diaper, and I have to deal with it. So you're thinking about the cost aspect, having to spend money on diaper, and you're thinking about having 2 kids and having to, do the same thing. So I felt she was at that age. So then we were living in Ireland, and when I wanted to start her potty training at 1 year, they said no. So she was going to nursery, and they told me no, that in this country, the system is from 2.5 years. That's when they feel the kids are ready. So the creche was not happy for me to start then. And I was like, okay, let's just wait. So recently we went on vacation, and that was just that 1 week of vacation. We potty trained, and she's completely it was so easy that I was literally shocked at myself. So I'm going to do a video next time on how I really potty trained her. But it just took a one week vacation, and literally she was potty trained through even 24 hours. It's not like you're potty trained during the day and at night time you're still going to get there. No, everything was kind of done within the cluster period of time, and that was it. So that's what I will encourage you. So do all those things you've been mapping out to do. Get them off your plate, because 1 baby is a lot of work, but having 2 or being pregnant and having a toddler is more work, and then having 2 babies, 2 kids is a whole, the workload keeps increasing. You understand that what you were complaining as a lot, having 1 baby or having to deal with your first pregnancy, the more you're adding on to it, it becomes a lot. Some people say, oh, it's easy. It's only easy in your mind because you feel you're used to it. It's not challenging. You don't have to learn how to put on a diaper. You don't have to learn how to know the right outfit or the right thing to do, but the workload is a lot more. So anything you have on your plate, please get it done. Then the next point I have is get your toddler involved. So sometimes we just imagine they can't understand. Sometimes we just imagine it's just too much for them, or we're just undergoing the whole stress of pregnancy. Maybe you're dealing with like the emotions. You're dealing with the nausea, the vomiting. You're dealing with the stress that is coming with pregnancy, and then the thought of having your toddler carried on, you feel like it's very hard to get that, understand, right? So it's good to bring the toddler along, because you're thinking about the end goal. That is when you have your baby and when the baby comes home. How will your toddler react? So it's best to carry your toddler along on the journey. Obviously, before your bump starts showing, your toddler may not in any way understand what you're talking about, okay? So, but by the time your bump is showing and you're comfortable at that stage, at least at your second trimester, you should be able to keep telling your toddler day after day that there is a baby in your tummy. So this is not something that they will automatically understand the first day. It's not something that they will automatically understand, and it's not something that they might follow along with, but constantly. Like for Zure now, she knows that I'm not very sure if she knows that there's a baby, but she knows that she comes to kiss mommy's tummy because her baby is in mommy's tummy, basically. So that's what she's been told, and that's what she recites. So every day she comes and kisses mommy's tummy because her baby is in mommy's tummy. So, and that is what I mean by carrying them along. So when you carry them along, you keep, encouraging them. So one thing, as you're carrying them along, one thing you should do as well is book a visit. If you have a friend that just had a new baby, book a trip. Go with your toddler. Excuse me. Go with your toddler to that person's house. See how your toddler will react. So a few months back, one of my friends in the UK had a baby. So we just drove down to go see her. And when we got there, I was carrying the baby, and Zura wanted, like you could see, she wanted to carry the baby. She wanted to kiss the baby. So this will give you kind of an outlook as to what her perception is towards babies. And it's very important because it helps you know how you're going to, if your child has a negative perception, then you can know that you have to put in a lot more work, and you have that expectation even for when your baby is coming. Unlike then, if your child is like Zero, very loving and want to kiss the baby as much as possible, you will know it's not going to be so hard. So I encourage that if you have a friend that just had a new baby, go and pay a visit, take your toddler and see how your toddler reacts. If your toddler is having a hard time the first time, do it a few times. Buy a baby related toy. So this is very easy for girls. They can have a baby and they can do everything. Like Zura have a baby doll, and what she does, she will carry her own brush and brush the baby's mouth. I will see cream on the doll's body. So all these things are already showing you that she will kind of want to do the same thing with a real baby. Okay, so you pay that visit, then you start showing your toddler, because your toddler was once a baby. So start showing your toddler pictures, videos that you took of them when they were babies. So now Zero knows the picture that is baby Zero. So when you tell her, who is this? She said baby Zero. So recently my husband was showing her a video that I did when she was about 3 months, and she was babbling and drooling from her mouth. So at a point, it felt as if she was crying, and you wouldn't believe, she was like, "It's okay, baby Zurel, stop crying. What's wrong, baby Zurel? What happened with baby Zurel?" So, you know, when she's saying, all of these things, you understand that, you know, she's coming in tune with it. She would display exactly the same thing with a real baby. When she sees a real baby crying, she will still say the same thing. "What's wrong, new baby?" She will repeat the same thing. I expect that. So, but if as a mom, you know, I play all those things and she was not showing emotions, or she was showing more of a negative emotion, so what will happen as well is that it will give me that idea to know that I have to put in a lot more work to prepare her. Because let's be honest, right? The new baby would not feel this gap, but your toddler will, because your toddler is aware of, especially like for kids, like, are just maybe someone like Zura that has just been like the child. She's been the first child. There is no other child competing with her. She can jump from mommy to daddy without any issues, and she knows that she can turn upside down. All the attention is on her, so she would feel it more than the new baby. So you have to just have that in mind with every step that you're taking, because you need your toddler to grow in love. You need your toddler to improve. So you don't want to do anything that will encourage a negative behavior. Okay, so that's where I say, like, then the next point I'll be saying is have your support ready. So when I mean have your support ready, is that I already mentioned is a lot of work. So it would be good to have maybe even a supportive partner, your mom, a nanny, anybody. Because why I'm saying this, that when you eventually have your baby, so it will be good to have these people when you're pregnant, because it will help you. But when you eventually have your baby, it will be good that it's not every single time you're carrying your new baby, and you basically have zero time for the toddler. So let's imagine the real life of a new mom postpartum. You're basically sitting down nursing 24/7. So you have your baby, somebody attached to your breast for so long, and you really don't have time to accommodate an impatient toddler, or a troublesome toddler, or a toddler that is just seeking attention for the sake of it. But always have it at the back of your mind that the toddler is the one that will feel it much more than your baby. So I feel from a breastfeeding point of view, it would be advisable, either you have your baby, you're wearing your baby in a sling and feeding, either you're pumping and giving someone else to feed baby, and then you make out time for your toddler. You have to actively make room. You have to actively include your toddler, because otherwise they will feel the distance, and they will seek for attention, and they will show it off in different ways. Okay, and they will show it off in different ways. So basically, I'm trying to get people on the breastfeeding dog. Please, if you guys can come over to the milk booster _ because of the camera quality is not great there on that phone. So that's how you get. So I've mentioned that point. My next point is discuss with your toddler. So this is also under the part of getting your toddler involved. So discuss with your toddler. I remember showing Zurel the picture of the scan. She really did not get it. She really did not understand it. But the more I'm showing it, she still don't get it at this point, because just the picture of a scan. But I believe that at this stage, she somehow knows that there is a baby. I really believe that, because she always comes and she wants to kiss the baby. So another thing is to get your toddler in a routine. So if you have a toddler that stays up till 12 midnight and maybe needs to wake up at, whenever, like, that's going to wreck you as well, because You already have to deal with sleepless night based on feeding a newborn. And then now you have to also deal with a toddler that is not ready to sleep anytime soon. So what I will advise for you to do is to get your toddler in a routine. So make sure that your toddler is going to bed at a specific time and they're sleeping through the night. If your toddler has not gotten to that stage of sleeping through the night, you have to start like working on it to get them to start sleeping throughout the night. Like for me, I'm at the stage of Zuriel, not like she sleeps through the night, but if you put her in her room and in her own bed, she would definitely wake up in between the night. She will wake up and wake up. Not that she'll wake up and then just turn and go back to sleep. She'll wake up. So, but if you put her in our own bed, she will sleep through the night. You understand? So, and like I told you, she's already potty trained, so I don't need to wake her in between. So, for me, it's a bit stressful at this stage, having to wake up every time she wakes up in between the night, trying to put her to bed. Because what she does, you put her to bed, she wants to sleep for a few minutes, and then she'll wake up again crying, and you have to repeat the same thing. So me and my husband with work, that is one thing out of the 3 things I wanted to get. That's one thing I know we've not fully gotten completely. So just make sure that your toddler is in a routine, and you should also understand what your toddler eats, so that by that time you will not be struggling so much trying to know what they will like. So you already understand the few things that they will always eat, so that if anything you're introducing is just a little bit in addition to what they normally eat. So what else have I missing? Make out time for your toddler. So now I'm just going to, I feel like I've included even when baby comes in, but I'm just going to highlight, just give a few tips when you eventually have your baby. After baby comes, how do you get your toddler to now, continue the same thing? So like I already mentioned, for those toddlers that are already showing warm affection towards babies, real babies, toy babies, it's not going to be so much of a challenge. But if you have a toddler that is not showing that warm affection, there will be some level of challenge, and you need to start planning that ahead of time. So that means the extra work you put in is keep showing them their own picture. Keep finding ways to get them interested in babies as babies. This might be a bit more difficult with boys, but you have to keep constantly, because persistent, you just need to be persistent with it, right? So let's say now you've done all of that, you put in the extra effort, and then you give birth. So during labor, you're probably in the hospital for, let me say, maybe 24 hours before your toddler comes to visit. So one of the things you should have done before that day is to have a gift. This might not work for all ages, like especially Zuriel is at the age she would believe it, right? So, but there are some kids that, I don't know what age to use as an example, maybe like a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old will not believe like a baby gave me a gift. Where did the baby get the money from? You understand, kind of a thing. But a 2-year-old will be like, oh, thank you, you understand? So have that, buy a surprise gift, wrap it up, and take it with you to the hospital. Number 1. Number 2, as you're already getting her involved with the baby, when you're buying things, go one day and tell her to pick something for baby. And let it be, every time you emphasize, Zuriel picked this for baby, Zuriel picked this for baby, Zuriel picked this for baby. She will know that this is what she gave baby, okay? And then, when that day comes, after you've had your baby and Zuriel, like your toddler is coming, right? So what do? You make sure you're not carrying the baby on your body that during the time of that visit. So it's something you have to coordinate with whoever is bringing the toddler, and maybe if you have any help there. So let's say now, if my husband is bringing a toddler, he will call me. So if they are at the car park and I was feeding, I'll tell them they have to hold on. Once I'm done nursing the baby, I put the baby in the crib or the bassinet, whatever it is that is beside me, the cot, right? And then I'll tell them to come in. So when they come in, you have to express, because obviously, you know, like when you drop your child in school and you go and pick them up at the end of the day and they're happy, they see you, they run. You have to show that same expression when you see your toddler. You have to really, I need you to understand that they have emotions and they have gotten your attention for all they can imagine. And now, not only have you just disappeared and they did not see you for the night, but they're not coming, you're carrying somebody else and you're like, hey, how have you been? Like, you know, showing that you're tired. No. Just remember how they used to run to you once you go to pick them at the end of the school. So just express that excitement from your face. Express that excitement from your face, okay? So when your toddler will see that you're very excited, that you've missed them and you're very excited, then the focus is on that toddler. And then after you've hugged and kissed and all that, you bring the gift and say, no, first thing I think you say, see your baby, whatever the gender of the baby, whether it's a boy or a girl, see your baby this, and the baby is wrapped up in the cot, right? And then as your toddler is just looking, you carry the gift that you've brought and hand it over to your toddler and say, this is from baby. So be conscious about them. Like, let's not just be like kind of this mafia brutal thing, like, you know, they'll get over it. No, it's good to consider the emotion, because all of this is part of their development, and we need kids that are all-rounded developed, not those that have like a neglected social development. Understand that? Okay, so when you give the gift, and then you not be like, you have whatever. So the gift that you buy, that your toddler is buying for the baby, our advice for it to be something that you can take with you to the hospital, and it will be on the cot. You understand? So when you've done that, depending on the kind of toddler that you have, they'll be like, oh baby, and they want to see and they want to touch. That's when you can do that. But if they are like, no, I don't want a baby, please don't bring out baby. Leave baby. Just keep reinforcing and trying to tell them, if your toddler is not happy, it's okay. But just make sure they got the gift. Give them hugs as they are going, so that they will know that, okay, that you care about them. And don't make it that visit. Don't really make that visit about the newborn. Make that visit about your toddler. So now, when you now get home, and your toddler, because I put up a post and I got some moms that said, oh, the day I got back from the hospital, my toddler said, who is this? What is this? And then she said, this is your baby brother or something. And the toddler was like, take it back. I don't need a baby brother. And that is a real story, and this is something that happens with people. So depending on the kind of toddler you have, you can get negative emotion. When you have a toddler with a negative emotion, allow that toddler to express their emotions, and always try to make things about that toddler. Make out time for that toddler. Try to feed. When you're feeding, try to distract the toddler. Try to just arrange things, make plans. If they're going to nursery, just know that you only get that period out for nursery to spend very well with the baby. That the moment they're back, it's either you've pumped milk, somebody else is feeding, and you spend some quality time with them so that they can go to bed and you have time for yourself and the baby. So always consider that. Okay? And then keep doing all of that because if you allow that toddler that is not happy, if you allow that toddler to express himself, with time they will start warming up to the baby. It's natural. It's never a scenario that they said no, they don't want a sibling, and then they hated the baby for the rest of their life. It's never that way. With time, they will definitely warm up to the baby, but you continue being persistent by showing them baby pictures and encouraging them in ways that will make them see the baby differently. So another thing is so one of the things I miss before your baby comes, make your toddler learn how to share things. So today, when I went to pick Zero from nursery, before I got home, as soon as I went there, she got up. Normally she run to me, but this time around she was like, you could see like she's either about to cry or she has already like cried a little bit. Like she was really at that stage where there's just a little bit of tear here and she's crying, trying to cry. So I picked her up and I'm like, what's wrong? So other kids were quiet, and then the child told me that because before I came in, I just saw toys pass hand, but like just from the window, but I don't know what happened. So the teacher explained to me that another child had a toy and Zuriel grabbed it from that child, and that child, so she told Zuriel that's not right. So she took it back from Zuriel and gave to that child. That's why Zuriel is not happy. So you understand that she's at that stage where she knows this is hers. This is hers. I bought sweets yesterday and I was like, let me take. Zuriel said no, it's hers. So, and when I tried to put my hand to take, she like reacts like it's her own. Why am I taking it? I'm like, me, your mother, I bought it and you're telling me no. So basically you have to get them into sharing. So now I'm aware that she's at that stage where she knows this is hers and she's not ready to share if she doesn't want to. So because that yesterday, after a while, she started coming around, she'll come and give me one, she'll give the daddy one, and then she'll put one in her mouth, you know. So she would share when she wants to, and she would not share when she doesn't want to. But you need her to be able to share with a new baby at all times. So it's to encourage that behavior. Tell her that sharing is caring. We have to share. You know, just keep encouraging all those characters so that she will learn. And is there another time I'm missing? Okay. So these are just the points I wanted to say. These are just the points. So I hope I've been able to explain, because we agreed that we're not going to allow this live video to last a full 1 hour. So I hope I've been able to explain things that how you can carefully plan. So you need to, and you need as much help as possible. You need as much help as possible in planning for yourself during pregnancy, in taking care of yourself and the baby and your toddler afterwards. As much help as you can. So just let me know if you have any question. I'm just going to go through comments and all that. Let's see. Oh dear. So let us see. Okay. I'm just scrolling up. So please, if you have any question, please drop it and I'll try to answer. You want my WhatsApp number? So there's number on the bio. That's the WhatsApp number. So Zurel is down here. I just got her entertained with YouTube, but I muted the volume just so you can hear her singing, so she knows everything. Thank you. Let's see. So please, questions. I'm just seeing so many waves. Thank you. Hello. Thank you. If I have stopped breastfeeding, can I restart? Yes, definitely. You can always restart breastfeeding. Any breast that has made milk before can always make another milk. So you probably just need like guidance and to know how much, how long was, how like how wide is the gap between when you stopped and now that you want to restart. Has anything happened in between? So what I normally do with my breastfeeding dog is that, because I find that everybody's case is not generalized, so I try to do like a consult to understand really where you're coming from, so that I can make a perfect plan to help you, you know, to get to where you want to get to, basically. So you can always start. Okay, come and say hi. They want to see the toddler. Sibel, come and say hi.
Hi.
No? Come here.
Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Are you done? Say bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. What? Everywhere.
So, that is Zuriel. So, any more question? I'm so sorry for the people that were on the breastfeeding dog. I didn't know the camera on the phone had a crack. That was why it was very dark, and I know people asked a lot of questions on there and I missed it. So hopefully next time. So any more question? I'm just going to give like a few more minutes of question, and if there's no question, we can all go and have a great Friday night. Zubel is here singing every nursery rhyme that we can think of. Okay, so I think it's about time. I was given till 6:40 to wrap it up, so I think we can all go. What do you guys think? Since there is no more questions, so that means for this topic we have it all cleared out. I know so many people have been asking me how I potty trained Zuriel within a week, and I'm going to do a video on that. I'll either come and do another live, or I will do a proper video and send. So, but definitely know that it was way easier than I had anticipated. I just couldn't believe it, like that it was going to happen within a short period of time, especially even including the night time potty training. You understand? Many people tell you, oh, just get the day done and then you now start preparing for the night. But with her, everything, like we just went on holiday, and that was how within a cluster period of time everything was done. And I can't believe I don't have to buy diaper, at least for this time being. Like, I really need to enjoy the fact that I don't have to buy diaper until when needed. So that's about it. I'm just going to go off now. I want to thank you all for joining me on this live video, and for those that will be catching the replay, of course, like, this is me saying hello to you all as well, and thanking you for watching and being part of our milk booster journey and all that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is it. You all should go and have a great weekend. Remember to order the products from the milk booster. The milk booster, you know, we sell the cookies, the granola, the smoothie mix, everything that will help increase your breast milk supply and keep having enough milk for your baby. Like, I'm so happy that with this pregnancy, I have zero worries about breastfeeding, because I had milk booster people. They had me covered. They got me covered, so they're just going to send me products and I don't have to worry for one day. That's a very big relief. Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and sending you all loves and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye bye. See you later.